Frantic Nerdcast, hosted by AJ and Brock, talking about all the nerdy things that you want to hear about. Let's get into it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 32.
As we keep roaring through those magnificent 30s.
How you been, good sir?
I've been very good, very good. Enjoying this lovely weather that we've been having. It has been fantastic getting out, stretching the feet, and then, going back inside to watch something.
Yeah, for those of you who are kind of in Australia, it's been winter. It's been a pretty average winter, like pretty cold and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yesterday we got fucking summer all of a sudden.
It was awesome. But you know what has happened this week? We live in a little place in, so we're in Newcastle, so the Hunter region in New South Wales. This week, do you remember what happened this week, or at least on the weekend this week?
Like what in history?
Oh no, we had we had an earthquake.
Oh yeah. So we had an earthquake. It was how far away?
About 2 hours.
2 hours away.
About 2 hours. Yeah.
I was sitting at work and my desk just like one of the bosses came in and my desk sort of just started doing that motion.
Yep.
And I kind of sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because I couldn't feel it through my body or anything. It was only my desk moving. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And she's looked at me like, what are you doing? Because I'm just sitting there kind of like head squashed down to my shoulders, sort of just looking around the room and looking at my desk. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, my desk is moving. And she's like, what? I'm like, my desk is moving. And then I've walked out to the office and we got like an open plan office. And I'm like, did anyone else's desk just move? And someone's like, yep. And everyone else is like, what? And and then I walked past another office where another boss was sitting and she was on the phone and she goes, it just does like the signal of like things moving. I'm like, yeah.
I was in at our office in town, and I was sitting at the desk plodding away, and I thought I was starting to feel dizzy because I could feel it through my body first. I'm like, oh God, what's going on? This isn't good. And then I just got more dizzy, and then the desk was moving. I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't me. And then all the people around me just going, can everybody else feel that? Yep, same as you. All the desks start moving and whatnot. So it was pretty wild to have that happen through here. I mean, the epicenter was a couple of hours away, so we just got a little bit of the shakes.
5.0.
I thought it was in the 4s, but it might have been 5.
I think it was 5.0. And then that night there were 3 aftershocks.
There were several tremors that were recorded overall. There was actually another 4 point something the next night, I think it was. So about 24 hours later, there was another one of the similar magnitude, and then a bunch of tremors after it. So it was a bit of a wild weekend through Newcastle. We haven't had an earthquake through here, or at least a decent.
No, for those of you who aren't Australian and are listening, we had an earthquake back in 89. And it killed a lot of people, destroyed a lot of buildings.
Yeah, there was 3. It wasn't too many. I think it was three or 4 people, which is still too many. But it absolutely destroyed the city of Newcastle for all through our main bits of town and whatnot.
All right. Well, off of that subject and onto some fun subjects. What have we got? So first things first. We have our first game that is out ready for beta test. We mentioned this in the last episode. If you would like to play test it, playtest at zendaragames.com. We'll put it with this post, and also if you can head to Zendara Games Facebook page, you go there, it's all there. Just you email us that and say why you want to play test it, and you can get the files, which is pretty much the finished game. So you're getting it for free. If you want to play test it, and all you got to do is play test it a couple of times with your friends and fill out a couple of forms just to tell us what you thought. Underground Dice Race is the game. It's a push your luck dice racing game where you each get a car and there's a series of cards out. Essentially, you've got some dice, you roll them, you move your car, and then you're sort of pushing your luck by re-rolling your dice, but each time you're re-rolling, you have less dice. So you're less likely to get further kind of thing. It's really good fun. We have a ball playing it.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're keen to play test it, Zendara Games, on Facebook or just email us on playtest@zendaragames.com.
And if you know any mates who are like friends, family, whoever who do like gaming and whatnot as well, want to give it a go, as we said, it is a lot of fun. Let them know, share them around, hit up the email address, share the posts, share the pages.
It's a print and play game, so you print it out. All you need are some dice.
Yep.
So other than that, let us get on with trailers. Okay, so actually, before we do start trailers, we're deciding to change the format up a little bit of the podcast. So what's going to be happening now is we're going to be doing 2 episodes a week.
Yes.
But they're going to be shorter episodes. So previously, most of our episodes have been hour 20 to hour 40 long.
Yeah, thereabouts.
So we're going for a shorter episode, so like 40-ish minute episodes, and you're going to be getting 2 a week.
And that'll purely be dependent on how much we end up rambling in between, because we
This is
don't
right.
mind that.
Yes, we ramble a lot. It's good fun. But anyway, on to trailers. So we've got 4 trailers for this episode. We're going to start off with Secret Level. What did you think of Secret Level?
I'm so keen for this. This looks amazing. I am super, super excited. So Secret Level, it is coming out to Prime on the 10th of December 2024. It's more or less an anthology of a whole bunch of games from throughout the years, and they're going to do an episode, more or less an episode of each. Now, I'm not 100% sure on the episode of each, because what they've done is they've got, there's 15 episodes, but they've only named 14 games. So I don't know if they're going to do like a wrap up like with everything, or they're just going to have a double up somewhere in the middle or whatnot. But in any way, it looks fucking cool.
It's done by Love, Death and Robot.
Yes, it is.
Creators.
Yep.
So I have a feeling it will probably be a lot like that.
Yes.
That show.
Which was awesome. If
Which
you haven't
was
seen it.
pretty much, it's pretty much just an episode per story.
Yes. Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if they'll have like a 15th episode, which sort of brings a bunch together or something like that.
I don't think they will, because I imagine the cost of IP and bringing IPs together like that would probably be a lot. I mean,
Probably.
Ready Player One did. I dread to think how much that cost Ready Player One, but
yeah.
I mean, the one I instantly seen in this that just made me go, "Ugh." Fucking Ultramarines, baby.
Yeah, it looks sick. So as we said, there's 14 different games that are going to be referenced, or an episode for each of them in some way, shape or form. Now, the games that they've come through with, now they are Pac-Man, Warhammer 40k, Concord, Mega Man, Unreal Tournament. Now, Unreal Tournament was awesome. I really, really enjoyed that.
That's a fighting game?
Kind of like a fighting game. It was very... I put it similar to Gears of War, except much more tournament. So you had that element where you put into sort of like a battle arena, so to speak. You just went around fucking people up. So yeah, Unreal Tournament, New World, Eternum, Armored Core, Honor of Kings.
Oh, Armored Core, yeah.
Sifu, Dungeons and Dragons, The Outer Worlds, Crossfire, Exodus. There's the 14. So we'll see what they do with the 15th episode. As I said, maybe they'll double up somewhere or whatever.
It looks
awesome.
beautiful. Every single shot, because it gave nothing away in the trailer. It literally
really
showed
didn't.
a couple of faces of the different characters from the games. Looks awesome. The Mega Man one. Fuck yeah. I'm down for Mega Man. Love me some Bomberman.
I tell you what, the one thing, because Love, Death and Robots, it's a lot of the episodes from memory, they range anywhere from like 10-ish minutes, and then some of them get up to like 20, 25, 30 minutes or something. I think the longest one was about 30 minutes, thereabouts. I hope they're a little more consistent so that you can really enjoy it, because sometimes I found that when you had those shorter ones, you're kind of like, this is sick, and then it finished, you're like, fuck. I hope they're a bit longer. They probably won't be, but we'll see how that goes. And that's the only thing that I hope happens from it. It looks so good.
It looks
visually absolutely fucking stunning. Cannot wait for this to come out in December.
It's going to be it's December as well.
December 10 on Prime Video. I
Video.
didn't see if they were dropping all of them.
No, I'm going to say
I don't think they will.
I'm going to say it's 2, or it'll be like 3 episodes probably, and then maybe 2 episodes a week. Or they have done before where they go like 3 episode, 3 episode, 3 episode, like they chunk it.
Okay.
So you get a couple episodes a week.
So that'll happen over like maybe over 5 weeks or something.
Yeah,
like
because they did that with
Did they ever do a thing where they did day after day? Maybe they'll do like 15 because it's December 10. They might just do 15.
I know. So I'm thinking of Disney because Disney did that with something at Christmas time.
Okay.
They did it with the show and they did daily. They did an episode daily and it led to
So I wonder
Christmas Day. Oh, it was Hawkeye.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, the Hawkeye they did daily from memory, and then because the last episode aired, and then the next day was Boxing Day, I think, and that was when Spider-Man came out.
Okay.
Because it led straight into not Spider-Man. It was whatever teased Kingpin. Because you got Kingpin, and then the next movie was...
Oh, fuck, I can't remember.
I'm sure it went into Spider-Man, but it teased because Kingpin was in that, and then it was...
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. But I'm sure one of them did that.
Yeah, I reckon that might be a call then, because if they're doing this coming out on the 10th, I mean, 15 days, that means your 15th will get released on Christmas Day, so they might do something along those lines.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it looks awesome. I can't wait. So anyone who is keen for some video game cartoon animation, Secret Level coming on Prime in December.
Like an oath.
All right. So next up, we have Megalopolis.
So this one is coming to theatres September 27. Director Francis Ford Coppola. So The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Jeepers Creepers, Jack, a movie I loved from my childhood. If you haven't seen that,
I'm sorry,
go and watch
he
that.
did Jeepers Creepers?
He did Jeepers Creepers. Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
How did I not know that he did Jeepers Creepers?
I know, right? It's a fucking... When I was reading through the list, I'm like, what? It's a pretty wild list when you go and actually have a look at it. He did that.
That's just blowing my mind that he made Jeepers Creepers.
Yep.
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get
Have you
those
seen the more
creepers?
recent one? It's shit.
Well, the more recent one had a lot of controversy surrounding it because the director got done for abuse of some description, I think, or something along those lines. It was like it was like Me Too movement sort of thing, I think. Right. I can't remember, so don't take me for gospel people, but I'm pretty sure something happened around the director, around something like that.
Okay.
So a lot of controversy surrounded that one.
Sure.
But I liked the second one. I liked the second and how it connected to the first one.
I like the first and second one. I loved them. First and second were amazing. Anything.
I mean, Justin Long. I love Justin Long, man.
He's so
I
good.
wish he was in so many more movies. But I think he's the kind of actor that's just like, I'm only going to do what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it shows.
I'm very much looking forward to him in 4:30, Kevin Smith's new movie. He's always great whenever he's in Kevin. He's always just that little tiny part in Kevin Smith movies, but he's always great. And
he was a pretty bloody big part in...
Tusk. He was big in Tusk, but
he was the fucking Tusk.
Most other movies, he's always just like a little cameo. Like he plays the gay lawyer in Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, and that's just... and that's the character from Zack and Miri.
Oh, there you go.
That's who he plays in Zack and Miri.
I haven't seen that in years.
But he wasn't allowed to mention the character by name because he doesn't own the rights to Zack and Miri.
Oh, yeah.
So
I remember when we were talking about this when we had Bevan on.
Yeah. So, he wasn't allowed to mention the character's name or anything. So he was just generic gay lawyer.
Anyways, back to Megalopolis.
Yes.
We don't mind a sidetrack. Starring, so this has a pretty big cast. We got Adam Driver in the driver's seat. We got Giancarlo Esposito. Nathalie Emanuel, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, John Voight, Lauren Fishburne, Talia Shire, Jason Schwartzman, Catherine Hunter, Grace Vanderwall, Chloe Feynman, James Reamer, Debbie Sweeney, Dustin Hoffman. So it's pretty big cast. Expecting a few of them to be cameos in some way, shape, or form, but either way, this one when it came up when I first seen the trailer, stumbled across it through one of the social medias. And it did the snippet of, what was it, Godfather shit.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now,
I love
shit.
that. That was
Something else
fantastic.
shit. And I'm reading it, I'm like, what? What is this about? Like, what is this a piss take? So I literally thought it was some satire crap that was just coming up.
It's just him having a reality of like he knows what people have always thought about his movies. Yet every single one of his movies is a classic.
And then Driver came through, and I'm like, oh no, this is real. Okay, cool. Let's watch through. Interesting thing that I read. Now I don't know whether this is true or not, but I pissed myself laughing when I seen it. Apparently, all the captions at the start of there, whoever did it via AI. So apparently apparently he's come through and gone, give me shit headings or something along those lines to like just bad mouth them. They're all fake headlines. And he got fired.
Nice.
Anyways, it looks interesting.
It looks, I'm
on the fence.
I don't think I'm going to rush out to the cinema to watch it.
No,
but it looks interesting and I will watch it.
I'll watch it, definitely. I'm not rushing out to the cinema either. I mean, there was nothing that really drew me in. Like, even when you're seeing that first bit with Driver, he sort of almost falls off the edge or whatever. I was kind of like, oh, yeah, cool. But then there was nothing else that sort of got me, because that was like a shock factor where it changed from those headings through to that. So I was like, okay. So I went and had a bit of a look at the intent of the story. So from what I read, it's actually loosely based on a Roman fable.
Okay.
So the idea is that Caesar, Catalina, so Driver's character, so Caesar, and then he's looking to move the city into the future of technology, whereas Franklin Cicero wants to retain the status quo. So it's like that old school Roman battle type thing, except set in modern day, semi-futuristic America. So I quite like that concept.
Yeah.
But I mean,
the visuals look
the visuals do look very, very cool. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that blends. I think one of the interesting things as to see how it comes across on the screen will be the reality compared to what is trying to be put in place. I think the disparity between those two is going to be very, very cool.
One thing that came to mind when I started watching the trailer, I instantly went, this looks like a less gothic Dark City.
I don't think I've seen Dark City.
Dark City is fucking amazing. It's probably up there for one of my all-time favorite films. It's Keith Sutherland and the Australian actor from Man on the High Tower, who has he's got like a wonky eye. I can't remember his name for the life of me. But essentially it's dude's in a city and he kind of wakes up as this dude's injecting this thing into his head. And then he soon discovers that he starts to get these powers, and he realizes that these aliens every night change the city and use these needles to inject people's heads with different memories.
Yeah, right.
And they change the city around and all this kind of stuff, and he starts to get their abilities.
I might go have a fucking look for this one.
It was an Australian film.
Yeah.
It's out there, and it's fantastic, man. It's got Melissa George, if anyone remembers Melissa George in it. She's an Aussie actor from way back who had a little moment in Hollywood, I think, from memory.
Primarily shot at Fox Studios Australia.
Yeah,
the film
so
was
this is
jointly produced by New Line Cinema and Proteus Production Company, Mystery Clock Cinema.
So this is back.
There you go.
This is back when
1998.
It's back when Australia had really good tax incentives, and all the Americans would come over here and shoot everything here. So there was a lot of movies back in like the late 90s, early noughties that were shot in Australia because we had really good tax incentives for them to come over. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of that with that sort of world shapingness and the visuals. It was just like a less gothic version of that.
Okay.
Dark City's kind of like Megalopolis if it was based in Tim Burton's Gotham.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of thing.
I got like reminiscence of Inception purely because of some of the things that they were doing in that dream world, how they're creating things. But yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next trailer. We've got Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim.
Directed by Kenji Kamiyama. So Ghost in the Shell, Star Wars Visions, Ultraman, Cyborg, DuckTales.
I cannot fucking wait for this. It looks so good.
It really does. It really does. So from a starring perspective, we've got Brian Cox. You'll know his face and voice. Stryker in X-Men 2 or from Super Troopers, Troy, Braveheart, etc. Miranda Otto, she is returning as Eowyn, who will be the narrator, which I thought was a nice little nod. Amongst others, so I didn't really recognize names or faces. This threw me at the start because of the live action piece.
Oh yeah, so at the start of the trailer, if you haven't watched it yet, at the start of the trailer, essentially it kind of has shots from Peter Jackson's films because this is produced by Peter Jackson, I believe.
Yes.
So it's got shots of Peter Jackson's films, and then they kind of go painterly over the top of them.
No, but they don't though.
But it's this weird.
They don't. I just thought it was. I genuinely thought that first part was lazy. I honestly looked at it, I'm like, that just felt lazy. You've just grabbed some snippets from the movies where Rohirrim is just present in the background, and then you've got an owl flying, and the owl got turned into the like the animation style. I was kind of like, okay, now I'm interested. The other parts, I'm like, what was that for?
So it's basically it's anime style.
Yes.
So it's
the whole
done,
thing's animation.
Yeah, it's done very much like Halo Legends, Animatrix, all those types of ones where the Japanese creators take that thing and do it in an anime formation.
So from that owl bit, fucking loved it.
it looks amazing. And just the part where the king comes in is like wants to marry the daughter, and he's just like no, and then it's like the dude punches him. He's like, I'm going to defeat you, and he just turns around. It's like one hit wonders the cunt and just drops him. And he's like, who's dead? It's like, yeah, fuck you, motherfucker.
What I loved about like that whole thing is because it started there, and you had the son and the daughter who they're talking about getting married and whatnot. And then it shows that they've known each other as kids. I thought that was really cool. Like, we're going to show you what happens as the cataclysm, but they fucking know each other and have done for a very fucking long time. So it was kind of like always in the cards for them to be together and get hitched and whatnot in some way, shape or form. And then it
kind of treated it like they're friends. It's like, you promised you would never hurt me kind of situation.
Yes.
And then this happens, and then he just turns into a complete and utter prick, it looks like.
100%.
Yeah.
But no, it looks awesome. It looks like two houses to war with a long history intertwined.
It reminds me of Romeo and Juliet.
That's what I was about to say.
It's very much.
It's got that Romeo and Juliet-esque tale to it, which means
wait for Mercutio to pop out like a plague on both your houses.
Which means you're going to fucking love it. I mean, look, it looks really, really fucking cool. Like, other than those little tidbits that it gave away, i.e. the kings, the two kings fought, one of them's dead, the son and the daughter of opposite parties knew each other, were friends for a very long time, and they're ultimately going to be like key components of whatever this war is. Other than that, the only other thing that you see is a nice little tie into the overarching rings at the end, where it looked like it was an orc saying, "What does Mordor want with rings?" Which I thought was a nice little nod as well.
Yeah, I mean, 100%.
This looks fucking cool. I'm very, very keen to see it.
They
haven't given us much.
They haven't, and I'm all for that. You continue not giving us as much in trailers, people. It works. It sells the movie. It makes it good.
And it hooks you in.
It does. All right, and our last trailer for this episode, Y2K. This came up, and I was like, movie named Y2K. I'm like, all right, clicked on it, and I started watching. I'm like, you sold me. You sold me. I will watch this because I lived through this era.
Yep.
I remember that day.
Very much so. Very much so. So this one, it's in theaters December 6th, directed by Kyle Mooney and produced by Jonah Hill. Starring Julian Dennison. So he's a New Zealand kid from Deadpool 2. You'll know him from several other things as well, but that's the first one that came to my mind. Jardine Martell, Mr. Harrigan's Phone, Metal Lords, Knives Out. He was also in It and It Chapter 2, the more recent ones. We've got Rachel Zegler. Alicia Silverstone was in there as well. We also get some cameos from Fred Durst and the Kid Laroi. Which suits so perfectly to what this movie is going to be about.
Yeah. So pretty much the premise is it's New Year's Eve, 1999. For those of you who weren't alive at that point, the theory was that computer clocks didn't know what was going to happen when it got to the year 2000. A lot of people were worried that the computer clocks were going to freak out because they didn't know how to go from 1999 to 2000. And people were like worried, like power's going to go out. People were filling up their bathtubs. Like this was all real shit that people was doing. It was fucking weirded out. Whereas I was... 24?
I was
14.
It was very, very strange end of the world vibes. It was fucking Skynet rising. Like it was so weird, but it was a wild time to live through. And what was really funny, or at least what I found around here, is that people were so worried about it and whatnot. And then it got to the day, and because it's New Year's Eve, everyone's fucking hammered. And then it got past the time, and then everyone's kind of like, oh, nothing happened. Because
We didn't die. Nuclear bombs didn't explode into
everyone was
the
that
air.
hammered that they just sort of just kept going about whatever they were doing.
Yeah. So essentially what happens in this movie, kids are at a party, hits year 2000, hits year 2000, power goes out,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden all of the toasters and computers and all that kind of stuff all merge together into robots and start attacking them and killing people.
Pretty much.
And it looks fucking hilarious.
It looks really, really good. So
Looks like practical props, all that. It just looks awesome.
it does. It does. So this actually gave me vibes of. Did you ever watch This Is the End?
Oh, I fucking love This Is the End.
So
Yeah.
it gave me This Is the End vibes, but just like
Less crude, more
Yes.
teenagey.
yes, 100%. And I think it's going to be really, really cool, especially if they sort of hit those tones and whatnot. Like it'll be awesome. It'll be that that not quite full dark comedy, but it'll be a fun like coming of age comedy horror with a very sweet cast.
But no, I'm looking forward to it. When was it coming out?
In theaters December 6th.
Excellent, excellent. All right, let us move on. All right, and we are on to movies. So let's start ourselves off with a couple of rumors, shall we? That was my best radio voice. All right,
Do you have to do that again?
I can do it again if you want.
It was not a request.
All right. My first one. So this is not a rumor, more so as an actual fact, but Highlander reboot starring the Cavalrine starts filming in Scotland in January. Now, Highlander is one of my favorite of all time films. The first Highlander. Highlander 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Number 4 wasn't bad, but the other ones were all pretty shocky. Like they were bad. Highlander 1 is phenomenal. Christopher Lambert, old mate that does Mr. Krabs' voice, played the baddie. Sean Connery. Queen did the entire soundtrack. We got some of the best Queen songs ever, like No One Wants to Live Forever,
Yep.
Princes of the Universe. Fantastic movie. Cavalrine playing Conor McLeod. All for it. I
Oh, it's
love
gonna
it.
be sick.
I even have the Highlander sword, but I have Duncan MacLeod's sword, which is the MacLeod from the TV series that ran for 6 seasons.
Sure.
Which was good. It was a very good sort of monster of the week, bad guy of the week show. But it's a good show because he's lived forever. Like he's lived a long time. It kind of jumps between different time periods.
Okay.
And like so it'll be like old time you're thinking, but the situation in the old time relates to the situation in modern day time. So they all. It's everything. It's a lot of very convenient situations that happen week to week.
Naturally.
But it's cool because they have swords and they fight. And one of the fun facts that I'll tell you about it is, have you ever seen Highlander?
I haven't actually, no.
So in the big battle in the end, they're fighting on the bridge and stuff. And when they fight, when their swords connect, sparks come off the swords and like ching, ching kind of thing. The way they did that is they both had trench coats on when they're fighting.
Yep.
The bottom of the sword has a power cable attached to it, which runs down the sleeve and down the bottom.
Like a battery pack
so
or something?
one guy has positive attached to his blade and the other one has negative attached to the blade. So when they hit, it arcs and sparked, which is just fucking mental.
That's hilarious. That's so good.
I know, right? They wouldn't do that these days because that's a little fucking dangerous.
Oh, 100%.
All right, on to you.
Now that I've locked my phone, Jack Black and Paul Rudd are reportedly in talks to star in a
I have this one.
reimagining of the 1997 cult classic horror
have this
movie
one.
Anaconda.
I have this one. It was literally my next one I was going to read, you prick.
It's quite often that we do that, isn't
Yeah, it is.
it? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's like a meta comedy of them trying to remake the original
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
and I'd say like a real stake will come into it, kind of thing. I reckon it'll be fucking hilarious.
I think that's awesome.
All
That's
for
awesome.
Jack Black and Paul Rudd. Predator Badlands has begun filming starring Ellie Fanning, and it is the official sequel to Prey.
Nice.
I love Ellie Fanning. She's fantastic. I love her in everything she does. And Prey was amazing. And it's the same director that's doing it as well.
Nice.
So I think this one's like Wild Westy style thing. Don't vouch me on from that on that. I can't remember, but I think like Badlands sounds like it. And Ellie Fanning can't really play a Native American because she's one of the whitest people on earth.
Correct.
But yeah, So-
Okay, no, that's sick. Sources claim that Mads Mikkelsen was already about to close the deal to play Doctor Doom in the MCU. However, the studio preferred to go with the safe option and rehire Robert Downey Jr.
Now, Mads Mikkelsen, that's
Hannibal.
Hannibal, yeah.
From the TV series, he played Hannibal Lecter.
I mean, yes, I could see him as Doom, but I think I like, because they're doing the multiverse saga and stuff, I think I like where they're going. I'm going to go with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I agree. As I said when we spoke about like when it first got announced, I'm going to be very interested to see how it all plays out. I was excited, then not as excited, and I'm kind of just, we'll see where it lands.
What have I got? Gambit is still alive, as shown in a deleted scene from Deadpool and Wolverine. Apparently, I haven't seen this, but apparently you can see in the background near him or something, a TVA gate opens and he kind of looks at it and smiles or something like that. And apparently he's been in talks with Feige.
Okay,
For his Gambit to reappear.
Okay.
Which I'm all for because it was fantastic.
Yeah, 100%.
I love the little jokes with him.
Yeah. I hope they clean up so we can actually understand him. a bit
Yeah,
more.
I think they will. Even he came out and said that was 100% deliberate.
Oh, of course it was. Of course it was. I mean, they made jokes about it in the show. So, now, Andy Serkis and Timothy Chalamet as Norman and Harry Osborn in the MCU.
I mean, Andy Serkis has already been in it.
Yeah, I know. Bring him back.
so-
Multiverse.
And I'm not a fan of Timothy Chalamet. I'm just
He can act.
he can act, but
He has to be in particular roles.
Yeah,
and I
he's-
think if you were going for something similar to the Amazing Spider-Man Osborn, then it would kind of like suit. But I don't know.
he's one of those weird ones where his age and his acting don't match. In my opinion,
right.
like he acts like an older person,
Yes.
whereas his age doesn't quite match it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's I struggled with him in Dune as that because of that. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, he can act. He can act like a
100% he can.
motherfucker, but it's just something about him that just pisses me off
Yeah, okay.
with him acting. That's it for me. Yeah, that's enough of you.
Yeah, it's enough.
All right, let's move on to our movie of the episode. And that movie is one that you've been waiting a long time to watch, sir. What is it?
Batman.
No.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Tell us about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
So it's been out for a little while. It was directed by Wes Ball, most prominently the Maze Runner saga.
The Ball Man.
Starring Owen Teague. This is his first lead role, but he's having supported roles in many other films and TV series. We've got Freya Allen, who you'll know from The Witcher. Kevin Durand, you'll recognize his face, but he was recently in Abigail, and he's also on TV in Lock and Key. And you've also got William H. Macy in there. Now, of all those names, you'll probably only recognize Freya Allen and William H. Macy because the rest play apes.
That they do.
I fucking loved this movie.
My God, the animation was
Incredible.
like, you put it on, and from the moment it starts, you do not question that you are not watching a movie with apes acting. Like, it's so good. The emotion in their face, everything is just on point. Anytime they're on screen with the chick, they're in the same world.
Yep. It just fucking hit perfectly. It was absolutely seamless. Like when, as you said, both on the same screen, there was none of that, what is it? The
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley. It wasn't relevant there
Well,
at
see,
all.
the major thing with Uncanny Valley is
human looking like
it's
human.
not
I get,
human,
I
yeah.
get that, but I mean, you can still get that like
You can,
ape
yes, you
and
can.
ape factor. But I mean, this
but
was so fucking well
it's
done. It
just-
was incredible. I mean, I'll start off with my two things that I didn't like, and then because there was only two very little things. And I don't know how long it's been out for spoilers and whatnot. So we just
we're not doing trailers. Ignore that. I pressed the wrong button whilst pressing the warning button.
Fuck, I'll
There we
wait for you
go.
to do it again. The water into the silo at the end. It annoyed me because, like, from a water perspective, the water can only go so high because, like, that's the sea level, but it just kept going up. I'm kind of like, it can't do that. So that annoyed me a bit.
I do see where you were coming from that, because that is one of my gripes. I was watching it and the water keeps rising. I'm like, where is this water coming from?
Yeah, unless some yeah. So in any case, that frustrated me. The other thing was actually right at the end when she had the gun in her hand behind her back. So the way that she held the gun, like, and I know that you can sort of say, oh, it might have still been in her pants and whatnot, but the way that she was holding it, it was like up behind her back and she was holding it. And then I've just gone blank. Noah comes across and says, here you go. So you've gone from a scene where she's like this with a gun in her back and she comes around like this and she's got nothing and she takes something with both hands. So I'm kind of like, where'd the gun go?
Magic.
That just... and look, if they are my only two gripes, mate, this movie was so fucking good. I loved every single fucking moment other than those two in this movie.
My gripe, which it wasn't... to me... It wasn't as strong a script as the original trilogy. Like this, it just didn't have that same oomph that the original three movies had. Like I didn't get those feels. I didn't
see. I got them. Hey,
it's like and I felt my other gripe is I felt the start dragged on a little bit too long. No. I know we had to get introduced to the characters and all that kind of stuff, but I felt that like because that start like. You don't get into the actual story for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, and it's...
I was fine with it.
I just felt it dragged on a bit too long personally. And like majority of the story is a Lord of the Rings-esque get from point A to point B movie.
Yep.
And then we have our situation at the end when I loved the part at the end. That was fantastic. The baddie... reminded me a lot of the baddie from Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like the same motion actor did the same role or something like that.
I can see that.
It reminded me a lot. But onto things that I loved, like the end of the movie when they're all up on top of that fucking thing and the ape's like, respect me or whatever it is saying, and they're like, I am your king, and they all start chanting and stuff, and then it just
actually on that note, Old Love who did Star Wars Acolyte, that is how you get a group of people to slowly build to some sort of chanting. That is how you do it. Like it just fucking hit. Just Noah being down on the ground and
yeah, preach.
And he just fucking builds from there. And because it's the what is it, the Song of the Eagle or something like that, whatever they call it. That's beautiful script writing there. That's fantastic storytelling. That hit hard. See, there's the feels.
Yeah, Chekhov's gun. They showed you the birds, therefore the birds have to be used.
Yep.
The birds are used at the end, and it worked so well that part. Yeah. And yeah, it was really, really good.
See, for me, like it had everything I wanted. I mean, you were guessing at every moment where the girl came from, in my opinion, or at least I was. Now, the reason I say that is because way back when we did the trailer, so you go back to like episode fucking 2 or 3, we spoke about her and how she was in a different uniform and how we were expecting her to talk and how this, that, and the other, and like maybe she was from space, maybe she wasn't, maybe it was like through the whole movie, I was wondering like, oh, she could be from space. Wait, maybe she's not. Oh, but then there's someone else. Oh, so it's probably, no, she must be here. Oh, but then now she's going to see someone else in the sat people, like the people at the end who are all like suited up and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
I didn't think she was from space because I think from memory at one point they mentioned something about some of the humans still. I can't, from memory, something was mentioned. I was like, oh, there's more humans.
Yep. I suppose this is probably one of the things that I quite liked about it as well that sort of ties into that whole space thing was when they're in the observatory and he looks through and sees something, but you don't see it.
Oh, that scene was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And then Freya's character went up, had a look, seen it. They still don't show you, so you're like, fuck, I want to see what they're seeing. I thought that was done perfectly. And then when they went back at the end, I'm like, oh, thank fuck, we're going to see it. And they still don't show you. I'm like, you fucking bastards.
I honestly was waiting for him to cock tease a spaceship.
But they said what it was.
Yeah,
So
because
they said it was the dark hole with light being sucked into it or something like that.
So I was waiting for the cock tease of the spaceship, but then when they went back, that's when I was waiting. I was waiting. I was like, oh, they're going to tease the spaceship here, and then I was like, no, it's still too early. It's still too early because there's no like the apes aren't quite to that developmental state yet.
But that's if they go down that route as well. Like they might not go down that route because when they got to the end bit where it was the base station and whatnot, where they plug in the sat thing, all this, So when they start communicating, I thought, right, here we go. This is going to be that space element where they're going to try and talk to one of the ships or satellites or whatever. And they saw him like, oh yeah, we're just over the border in the state line and in the next state over and whatnot. You're like, oh, okay, so they're still just talking within Earth to find other humans. So I'm wondering if it actually goes down that route at the minute. Like the what they seen in the observatory, 100% is going to be big. I think it's going to be the big catalyst for the end. And I think they've just planted that seed now and let it grow for another couple movies.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very excited to see.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good because they've already said it's going to be another trilogy, haven't they?
I don't know, but I just kind of figured they would because that's sort of how they run it these days. Everything comes in threes.
And I do like at the start how it wasn't very specific about how long it's been. Just I think it said a couple
generations.
Yeah,
it's been generations. I mean, I loved the character development of Noah. I thought that was really, really good from how he was sort of that small, like the small town, in this case clan, that small clan, small town, small minded in regards to what's outside of his what he already knows, and the way that got carried through to the end of the movie and how he sort of grew with, right, I'm understanding there's more to it. There's more people, there's more apes, there's humans who can talk, there's we can see the echoes rather that they see. I thought that was really, really cool. And it sort of, I think it came to a head when he first got the recognition of Eagle Son, his dad's eagle, when he was out on the edge. I can't remember exactly what he says, but that was another bit that sort of gave me the feels because he sort of, I think he was talking to someone, she walked away, and then he said, or it doesn't matter, we just have to do it anyways, or something like that. And it just like, fuck yeah, like gave me the feels. And the eagle jumps on his arm, he's like, roar, yeah, like that was awesome. And yeah, so the character development of Noah, I thought was really, really well done.
All in all, though, it was a thoroughly enjoyable movie, and I probably will watch it again. But in all honesty, I would watch the original. I would watch the Caesar trilogy before I'd watch this one again. But I'd probably go through all of them. But I don't think it was quite as good as the Caesar trilogy.
Well, we've only got one so far, so let's reserve judgment till we've got all three for the comment in regards of the trilogy.
In fairness, the first of the Caesar trilogy wasn't my favorite of the trilogy. So,
oh really?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. But
which one was your favorite?
The second one.
Okay.
Yeah, the second one was really I thoroughly enjoyed the second one. Third one was really good as well. It probably goes 2, 1, 3 for me.
Mine goes 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
1, 2, 3. Oh, and that was another little nod that gave me the feels as well when she first says Noah. Because you didn't know. I thought that hit pretty hard. Yeah, she jumps out and just Noah, and then the apes all turn and go, what the fuck? It was like the reverse as well. Like they carried it through all of them, and I think that was, really, really sweet.
I look forward to seeing her in more stuff. I like
100%,
her.
She's good.
All right. Well, let's jump to a little bit of some news. In the gaming world. So for those of you who play miniature games, Drop Fleet Commander is a game we've talked about a couple of times. It's basically a spaceship game in lower orbit of Earth.
Yep.
That is you're trying to drop people down onto Earth into plateaus, and there's like different levels your ships can go to, but certain ships can't drop below a certain level, etc. Or they get destroyed. They announced, I think we talked about it like a month ago or 2 months ago, that they were going to do a new edition and they were stopping selling anything from the original one. They announced yesterday, I think it was, that 2.0 starter set is going to be up for sale pre-order on August 30th, which is tomorrow at the time of recording this.
That's a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be coming.
The box comes with 9 plastic UCM ships and 15 plastic Biophysa ships, which are a new mob that they're coming, and they're like very like square, sharp-angled ships. They look really cool. One rule book, 24 bases, and they've got new bases. They don't have those stupid fucking dial things they had. 10 dice, as 1 space station sheet, 2 debris sheets, 2 token sheets, 3 quick play cards. And these are from the website. These ships are finely detailed multi-part plastic miniatures and can be assembled in a wide range of varieties. The fast play sheets will quickly get you playing with recommended builds and ship stats. Dropfleet Commander 2.0 will be available for pre-order on Friday, which is tomorrow for us, and available for regular purchase on 18th of September.
Nice.
So I'm very interested because they did do a community poll and they're like, what would you like to see in the second edition one? I have personally said, I just want space battles. I don't give a fuck about the ground aspect of it. Just give me space battles like Battlefield Gothica. I'm going to be a happy camper. So hopefully they've included stuff like that because I said it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
You reckon under that rule change they're going to say bye AJ?
Oh, yeah, 100%. They're going to get that guy from Frantic Nerdcast. He told us to do this. And I'm not going to play the intro for this because it's one little fucking thing. But Crocs and Gundam are doing a crossover. You can now buy Gundam-themed Crocs. They're hideous, but I want them. I hate Crocs. My wife would divorce me, but they're Gundam Crocs and they look amazing.
Look, guys, this is episode 32. It's been an amazing run. Shan tried to get, she said, I'm going to get you some Crocs. I said, fucking no. No thanks.
That's divorceable situation right there, good sir. Divorceable situation.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but they, whatever. I won't get them, but sure.
Something tells me I'm going to be fucking here next week and there's going to be a pair.
No.
TV show.
All right, and to finish things off today, we've got a couple of rumors from the world of TV. So I've got 2 little rumors here. I'll start off with the first one. Keanu Reeves almost played Master Soul in The Acolyte, but pulled out due to conflicting schedule.
Oh, lucky man.
That's what I thought. I was like, that dude fucking, he dodged a fucking bullet.
You know what's bad though? I mean, I come back to, it wasn't that bad of a show. Like even I'm starting to get on board the fucking people hate. Anyway.
It wasn't a good show, bro. I'm sorry.
I didn't think it was as bad.
It didn't deserve everything it got.
Exactly.
But it wasn't a good show. And to be the most expensive fucking Star Wars that's ever made, no.
So for my rumor, the Acolyte season 2 has been cancelled and Old Love's been fired.
I'm pretty sure we said that multiple times. So what have you actually got?
What have I actually got? I don't know. Where are we? See, this is the problem when I don't write shit down.
All right. Well, I'll jump into my last one. Studio Trigger, I believe they were called. I only seen this today. Have released a short promo for a Transformers 40th anniversary project. The promo doesn't give much away. It doesn't say what it is, but it's just like quick shots of a couple of different primes and stuff like that and cartoons and stuff. Okay. And couldn't tell you for the life of me what it is, but it looks fucking cool. And anything to Transformers, I'm in. For those of you at home, can probably see. Trying to angle it towards the camera. Let's put it on your camera. There it is. I have an Optimus Prime on my arm. It's like in the worst fucking spot to the cameras.
What I can safely say, people at home, whether you are watching or whether you are listening, you got the same experience because you could see fuck all on that.
Yeah, that's fucking right, motherfucker. Have you got anything, or are we going to finish this up?
I can't remember if I said this last week or not, so I'll just say it again if I did. TV series is coming to Peacock, Crystal Lake. keen as, which
Oh,
is
that's the Jason Voorhees. Yeah.
I'd be keen to see
So
that. That'd be
has it got
awesome.
anything what it's themed on, or is it going to be about the mum, or is it going to be Voorhees, or is it like an actual modern day series?
Yep.
Yep. Cool. I appreciate all that information you've brought with you here, sir. I really do. That's great.
Look, I'm definitely the person you come to for as much information
As much
possible.
information as possible.
100%.
All right, and let's finish it off with our standard sort of thing. Table. What is on it? What have you done? Have you done anything since our last episode?
I have almost finished. What was it called? The Strange Doctor. I just need to put some wash on.
That's
him
right.
and
You were
then
talking
clear
about
coat
that
him.
last week, yeah.
I have finished painting Thor.
Yep.
And then I broke him, so I'm going to have to put him back together.
Yep.
And I've also finished Blade, who was very easy because you literally base him and then put a black primer on it, and then you just put a few highlight silvers and like some greys and stuff, and that's like it. So that took about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was Ghost Rider for me too. Yeah, you spray paint it black and then just like highlight
Yep.
just a dry brush of grey over the top and you're done.
Pretty much. And there was one other one that I did. Oh, I did Daken. Daken.
That's Wolverine's son?
Wolverine's son.
Is that the one that's there's like half a little bridge and he's like sort of jumping off the bridge?
No. It's just him standing on the base. It's a pretty boring one.
Is it
I
C27 or Trident?
I can't remember. I think it was Trident.
Yeah, I think I did the C27 one. It's like a little bridge coming off and he's like jumping, like a Japanese themed bridge, and he's sort of jumping off the
That'd be
bridge.
sick.
It looks pretty cool.
So I got a little bit done, which was good. Oh, and as we have mentioned a few times, the Star Wars Unlimited game. So I built a deck to play some Twin Suns.
So I finished off my standard deck, made myself a little aggro deck. We played a game before we actually started. I know it won, but it also won against the starter deck.
Very well balanced.
But I'm pretty happy with it, and I've just got to build myself a Twin Suns one, and we're going to have we're probably going to try and film a couple of games once we teach Zachary's son how to play it. But
He's going to need more than his booster pack to build a deck, though.
probably, yeah. I think we'll be generous and we'll build him a deck to play with.
Right, I suppose we can.
Other than that, not much has really been happening.
Cool.
But that's really it. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode 32. And we'll see you again very shortly. Bye. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever all good podcasts are listened to. On YouTube, you can check out the latest episodes just after the podcast is uploaded.
Follow along the journey on our Facebook and Instagram. You follow me, Frantic Brock, on Instagram, and you can follow AJ, Weird Art by AJ.
See ya.